welcome to the Drive to Draw podcast. Mate, our grand final edition. We've held it off for a couple of weeks just because there's been a lot of results going on. But, mate, how's the last couple of weeks been for you?
Good, Pete. Yeah, into the footy season now, watching the Port Power play now.
Well, so there'll be half our listeners that are probably happy with that, and the other half are not so happy with
probably it. Probably 60-40, probably.
Exactly. You were bowling away a couple of weeks ago. How did you go?
Clare was good. We won. Well, we came second. Won all our 3 games the first day.
Yes. Got
second prize money, and then I bowled with you last week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
last Friday.
Up at 2 wells.
And we had a couple of wins, couple of losses. Good day. Beautiful prawns. You don't eat prawns,
no.
but
the chicken was
all right.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Actually, no, it was good salad.
Yep.
And good chicken out
and
there.
And a good day, and I'll be out there again Friday.
Yep, so will I.
With so are you, that's right. But hopefully we'll get you around.
That'd be a lot of fun. There'd be a few barbs flying here, there and everywhere. All right, mate, as this is our grand final edition, we started out with a young gun, and later on in our players' interview, we've got another young gun to finish us off for the year as well.
Yeah.
Just a sneaky little win over the weekend at the Adelaide Masters, but really looking forward to having a chat with Corey. But, mate, let's get into Around the Greens.
Around the Greens.
All right, normally we'd talk Premier League, Division 1, what's going on around the place. We will talk and touch base on some of the promotions and relegations, probably more the promotions than the relegations in a little bit. But we thought it was important to finish off on our grand final show talking about the state finals. Let's start off with the women's and the men's country carnival. The men's was played a little while ago, but we want to bring it all together.
So we're going with the men's first?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, we've got Mark Wrigley from Streaky Bay, 21-12 over Jaron Jenke from Berry was the winner of that. The pairs was Simon Gita-Johnson and Todd Brand.
Yep.
19-13 over B. Hines and D. Bushell from Kadina.
Yep.
And then we got the fours. It was, I'm not repeating myself here, Brand, and Murdoch.
Yes.
Versus the Newry boys. Now, I'm not sure whether Brenton Valenti was playing or was it Jeff Langley, I believe.
We do think there was a medical issue somewhere there. Yep.
It was 18-9 to the Brand Murdoch over, we'll say Guru, Langley, Nigel Rookie, Chappie, and Brenton Brown.
Absolutely.
So, it was a hard-fought win there.
Absolutely. Now, you know some of those fellas, obviously from Newry and around the place there. Just give us a little bit of an insight as to what the players enjoy about Country Carnival Week.
Oh, I think it's the fellowship, just getting away. I don't know, the Newry boys, we never used to stay down. Yep. We used to just come down each day, cause only, 50 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yep.
But you'd be looking at the Brand boys and the Murdochs, they'd all stay down and, grab a cabin somewhere or something, so it's more of a party.
I was about to say, if only the walls could talk, there'd be some stories over the years
Whatever
of the Country
on the
Carnival.
bowls trip stays on the bowls trip.
Exactly right. All right, let's move on to the women's, which was just played a couple of weeks ago.
Yep, and winner from Newry, which is Kate Blacksell.
Yes.
21-19 over Sharon Kavanagh from Moonta. Kate's from Newry. Just come back to bowls. Was an ex-state player, I believe.
Yes. I think that was the question going around social media is where's she come from? And it's like, no, she's actually been involved in the state program.
Very handy. Yep. The pairs were Kath Greenslade, no introduction needed there from Riverton, and Jay Cotts from Keith. I believe Cotts may have been from Robertstown. That's a Robertstown name.
Yep.
They won Kate won 21-19 over Sharon Kavanagh, and Cotts and Greenslade over 21-5 over Steinwagel from Moonta and Kalasco from Goolwa.
Yep, Renata, I think it is. I think she's
That's
involved in the state program as well. So, and those girls have been around quite a bit. I know I've been up at the Australian Open when they've all come together and absolutely enjoy their bowls. I think they made a final or a semi-final and played against, the likes of Dawn Heyman, Kelsey Cottrell, the young lady from Christine Christic from WA. So, mixing it with some of the best players in Australia.
Kath Greenslade won a Vic Open.
She did indeed, 2 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. So, in the fours, we had, again, Kate Blacksell, Kay Lynch, Kath Greenslade and Jay Cotts, 17-16. So a cracker game.
Absolutely.
Over Hollis, Johns and Strauss. So
we did double check that to make sure that it wasn't a typo.
Yeah.
They're two
John
totally
and
different
Johns.
people. Yeah.
There you go. So, and that was 17-16. So it's a good game.
Absolutely. What do we got? We've done the singles, we've done the pairs.
Yeah, we're all done
We're
with
all
that.
good.
Country
Excellent.
Carnival.
Well, let's move on to the state finals. Obviously, was played just recently and live streamed a lot of the final days, and a couple of late nights thrown in there for good measure. And going through some of these results, it's understandably why. We'll start off with the women's. In the singles, Yvonne Kelly defeating Anda Panjawant 21-15. So tight game there. And again, a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new, which is very, very good. In the pairs, apologies for pronunciation here. It's Hettelman 18 with Vicky Arbin, 18-14 over Sally Denton and Beth Quinlan. That was actually quite an entertaining game there. That could have gone either way at one stage there, so really, really good. In the triples, again, these names, no stranger to some of the state finals. Karen Gatto, Debbie Dennis, and Jackie Field, who Jackie was actually up at 2-0 the other day. Playing some good bowls there. Just getting over the line by one shot to D. White, P. Mansell, and K. Day, 16-15. So, as I said, there was a couple of late nights thrown in there where a couple of the games finished quite late, and that's part of the reason why. And then in the fours, this was an entertaining game as well. Michaela Massey, Hanneke Booth, Tasman Jinky, and Sheridan Bodner, defeating Mia Baldy, Sally Denton, Chris Thorburn, and Beth Quinlan. Again, an entertaining game to sit down and watch.
I watched that one on the live stream.
And 12-10 in the end. So I think it was out a little bit early, and then the Ascot girls sort of dragged it back in there. So well done, and congratulations to all the teams that were involved in the finals. Let's do the mixed. Jay Hayes and Jay Pangeli defeated E. O'Malley and Jay Porker 20-6. So congratulations go there. See, Feasty didn't get through after giving me a touch up there in, the round of 32 at one stage there. No grudges at all. No, none whatsoever. All right, let's move on to the men's. Some familiar names here, mate. In the singles, Jono Voigt getting up over Ash Halls, 21-18. Entertaining game there. And Jono, like a fine wine, just got better and better as the season went on. Struggled a little bit with his pennant early on in the season, but finished off with a bang.
Really good singles player. He's won the Country Carnival, and credit to him.
Absolutely, and Ash has been around for ever and a day. Always
so consistent, Ash.
He's always tough to play against. In the pairs, Nathan Black and Jono Voigt once again teaming up. I reckon part of that would be to do with state events, state selections, exactly, and they played at Adelaide together. Nathan Black and Jono Voigt getting up 21-7 against Liam Coe and Gary Smith. So would have expected that to be a little bit closer, but if Blackie gets on a roll, Jono gets on a roll, I think they're going to be hard to stop no matter who they play. So well done to them there. All right, let's move on to the triples. Will McFarlane, Josh Studham, and Nathan Black. This was a very, very tight game, and once again, some familiar names. Getting up over I've got my, is it Auden? Or again, apologies if I got it wrong here. D. Steinwaddle and Simon Gitter-Johnson, 14-13. So some experience there and some young guns that are firing as well. And Blackie he missed out on the singles this year because he was in everything else. Because in the fours, Will McFarlane, Matthew Rossi, Jono Voigt, and Nathan Black got up over Wayne Rudiker, Michael Lodge, Mark Evans, and Gary Smith, 12-9. And I do remember you saying you ended up going head-to-head against Lodgy there in one of the finals.
Yeah, it was good hit out. We played him in that first round. They beat us, half a dozen or more, I suppose it was. We had a good game against them, and we were sort of a scraped together side. I was just filling in because Hully was gone.
Yep.
And I think Johnny Nicolai, he was filling in for somebody else, and so we just scraped together and we had a good hit out.
Absolutely. And Lodgy in that final, geez, he was drawing within an inch of the kitty, and we know he can do that. And Rudy was just doing Rudy things, which he always does. Congratulations go to all of the winners there, mate. Let's talk, we'll stay on around the greens. Let's talk some promotions very, very quickly for Wednesday Bowls. Division 1, we've got Grange and Toorak moving up from Division 1. In Division 2 North and 2 South, we've got West Lakes and Hawthorn moving up, obviously, into Division 1, and so on and so on. Division 3 North, that was Woodville. Now, here's where I'm going to ask a few questions here. You've got teams that are not eligible for promotion. Is that because they've already got a team in that division, or is that because of the...
So who was that?
Well, we've got Port Noarlunga are actually moving up. Ascot not eligible for promotion. So...
It must be.
I'm asking the question. Because when you go to Div 3 East, Hawthorn are going up, but Sturt are not eligible for promotion. So is it because that we're going from a north, south, east and west that there's... maybe something in there that wherever you finished and how many points.
I'm not aware of why they're not.
I might need to follow that one up.
Yep.
Anyway, Division 3 West, Marion moving up to Division 2, Modbury from 4 to 3, 4 South, Port Noarlunga. Port Noarlunga had a pretty good year, actually.
Yeah.
4 South was Port Noarlunga, 4 East was Toorak Burnside, 4 East. Now, here's where it gets interesting. We got 2 lots of 4 East here. One of them going up is Glenelg. The other one is going up. It looks like Glenelg has won the grand final. Runner-up was also the minor premier and the highest amount of points in the home and away season.
Okay.
So maybe that is how it actually works. Port Adelaide going up from 4 to 3. I reckon Hutchie, an old friend of ours there from Paynham. I think he's gone to Port Adelaide there. So
yes,
helping his team get up. He loves the black and white, doesn't he, mate? I'm surprised you're not playing there, to be honest with you. We won't set too many rumours afly tonight anyway.
Not yet.
Division 3, Southwest, Holdfast, Clarence Gardens and Sturt all making their promotions. All right, let's move on to the Thursday ones very quickly. Somerton, Holdfast up to Premier League. Tranmere, Happy Valley from Division 2 to Division 1. Playford, Port Noarlunga and Beaumont all going from 3 to 2, and Glenelg going from 3 to 2 as well in the north, south, east and west side of things. And we have talked about this over the course of the season where we think that's a good idea, isn't it? And you played it.
I loved it. I really enjoyed the year.
At Walkerville with north, south, east and west. So
absolutely,
you were probably best placed to sort of comment on that rather than having to travel here, there and everywhere.
Certainly a lot better.
Do you think that keeps a lot more people in the game?
Keeps me in it.
But does it keep...
That might be a good thing.
Does it keep, say, local community or, again, night owlers just going, hey, you've only got to play here or just down the road?
And not only probably that, Pete, it's probably attracting people to come to, say, Walkerville.
Yep.
I've got a couple in the wing from up north way.
Yes.
And they might be heading down because it's all north. So, you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's the way it's looking. All right, we'll go through, and we did do this on grand final day. On our grand final review, we did talk about it just briefly. Marion, Port Noarlunga going up there. Edwardstown, Hawthorn going up as well. Modbury, Brighton. Two Wells, Ascot Park. Hawthorn and Woodville down to Division 4. After that, it's a smattering of north, south, east and west, but some of the bigger clubs, but also some of the smaller clubs getting a pretty good run there, mate. So, mate, what's been your favourite part of the year as far as pennants go? Question without notice, mate.
I was going to say the finish. I just thought probably just did drag out that little bit at the end, but no, look, I've really enjoyed my year at first year at Walkies, and I mean, Div 3, you think, it's going to be. It's not easy.
No, it's
There's some damn good bowlers.
Those
down
middle divisions are actually a lot harder than sometimes some of the upper.
I really enjoyed it. It's a competitive level there, and so that's been my. I had a fairly good year myself personally. Yep. So I was pretty happy.
That always helps, mate.
Yeah,
it certainly does. All right, mate. We're going to forgo the hot shots tonight, and we're going to move on with our players' interview.
Players interview.
And tonight on our players interview, we have a young man. We started off with Nathan Black and we're finishing off with Corey Hicks. Corey, thanks for joining us, mate.
No problems. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Corey. Great win on the weekend, mate. Watched a lot of it on the live stream. Watched the early game against Simon. Played magnificently well there to beat him 25-13. And you had some great wins over the course of the weekend as well. We had Moffat 25-14, Studham 25-8, Maxi Kleinig 27-17, then Gita 25-13, and then the final, Spurry 25-20. So watched all of that game. You're magnificent, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. Yeah, they felt like they were coming out pretty good.
Certainly. Your draw bowling, I've seen you drive, mate. I know you drive 110 k's an hour minimum, but your draw bowling was just sensational, mate.
Yeah, home deck. I mean, it was pretty nice greens all week, even with the rain.
Yep.
Yeah, suited me very well.
Scotty always gets him up for the Adelaide Masters, doesn't he?
Yeah. It helped having such a great growing season this year that they were up that speed sort of after Christmas anyway. So
yep. And
that
they
was
get
really
so
good.
much work. I mean, you've got barefoot bowls, you've got everything,
there's events on every weekend, every day, yeah.
So how he does it, I don't know, but
yeah, he's a wizard.
Now, mate, obviously we wanted to talk the Adelaide Masters tonight, but we want to also get a bit of a sense of, where you started your bowls. I'm assuming Dad, Granddad, all involved with bowls, and we'll sort of work our way back to the final of the Adelaide Masters.
Yeah. So Dad playing bowls since I was before I was born. When he met my mother, it was used to have to work on Saturdays apparently. So he wasn't too keen on telling her until they were having me, and then he told her, and she's like, no more of that. And then eventually he got her, talked her in and started playing, and that's when I started playing at 9 years old. So
you were almost born at the Adelaide Bowling Club, weren't you?
Yeah. I haven't been anywhere else other than Adelaide. So I've been there since I was a little tacker. Mum and Dad used to play darts all the time there, and bowls now. So yeah,
absolutely fantastic. Now, basically, you've got the master, the maestro there, the master and the apprentice. What's it like having someone like Scotty in your corner, sort of guiding you, because he would have seen you obviously first pick up a bowl and then sort of work with you to achieve what you wanted to achieve. And when did you sort of start taking notice of what Scotty was saying and going, hey, he's sort of setting me on the right track?
Yeah, having Scott there it's perfect, really. He's such a great coach and mentor for myself and all the other juniors and players at Adelaide. He's so good, and he knows what he's talking about. But I don't think I really started listening until maybe my second year of bowls. I think he won the World Champ singles, and
yep.
I go, okay, maybe this guy knows what he's talking about. And I listened there and sort of just shot from there. Started my under-18s career, and he was always really supportive through that. And Premier League, always pushing the juniors, and myself and Charlie always coaching us. And Cooper at that stage, he was just unbelievable.
So let's talk about, and we've done this with quite a few of our guests, is what's it like playing with, Mum, Dad, Charlie, you guys live, breathe bowls pretty much for 24/7, I'm sure, but you also like your downtime. I did see a bit of Call of Duty on the Facebook tonight. I think you boys are involved with, but what's it like over the dinner table, really?
Yeah, look, a lot of home talk now, especially working around bowls, is don't talk about bowls. We still do occasionally, especially after good games and stuff. We love to have a chat, but if someone's had a loss, it's usually we'd prefer not to talk about bowls. So we'll talk about the Port game or something. But it's not too bad. We love all our sports in our house, so we've got lots of things to talk about other than bowls, which is handy sometimes. So
Absolutely. Well, you've got 50% of the panel pretty happy right now talking about Port Adelaide.
That's me.
Yep.
What age are you now, Corey?
I'm 20.
20.
Just turned
Oh, you're
20.
old
Yeah.
bugger now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, don't take on some of the things Scotty tells you about after bowls, all right?
Yeah, I certainly don't. I've been pretty good at avoiding some of those things.
Was there a Barbie back at the Hickses after the Masters? That's what I want to know.
No, I actually ended up with a pretty decent headache after the Masters, so it was just chill out, relax.
Fair
Had
enough.
KFC, which is always nice.
He's got the dirty
And,
bird.
yeah.
He's supporting the Port Adelaide major sponsor.
absolutely.
He's doing the right thing.
Wouldn't have it
Mate,
any other way.
there you go. Mate, what a season 24-25 you've had. Let's just go back to the start of it. You skipping at Adelaide, sort of taking on a little bit more of an active role there, and Scotty and your old man sort of backing that.
Yeah. So I think this is my second full year of skipping Adelaide, and first year being selected with Scotty as well. So that was a really good learning experience, and having the year beforehand to come off of skipping was really valuable for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a great competition that you always need every little bit of experience you can rely on in certain games.
Absolutely. Now, just before the start of the season, you were selected in the national side, the Bowls SA, or state side, I should say. That was your debut, wasn't it, for the seniors? But you'd obviously been in the juniors, of course.
Yes, yeah, it was. Yeah, my debut at the Nationals, and luckily enough with Scotty Tholborn as skipping, so felt right at home with him, which was unreal.
What about other sports? A big unit. What about footy? You play any footy?
Yeah, I've played a little bit of footy up until I was 18 and
Yep.
stopped. Didn't really want to play seniors, but I thought about taking it up maybe this winter, but we'll have to see how we go now.
Yeah.
So
So who's that for, Corey?
I've played for Portland and North Haven. This year, I'd probably play somewhere closer to home,
Oh, okay.
up north. So yeah.
Okay.
So
And
yeah.
Charlie's playing footy, isn't he?
Yeah. So he's played for North Haven and moving to Hope Valley this year to play some juniors.
Okay.
Beautiful. Mate,
Yeah.
off the green, obviously, we want to talk about a few of the things you're into. What's tickling the fancy? I did mention the Call of Duty there a minute ago. Is there a competition? I know you like your Formula One as well.
Yeah. So I'm a big F1 and footy fanatic. And yeah, I do love my Call of Duty. Play with some of the boys, some bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Sam Denton, Mitch Percy, and Kobe.
Yes.
We love a have a game. Just playing before talking to you now. So yeah, always a good stress reliever after work and bowls.
Absolutely.
So working where at the moment, Corey?
So I work for James Gregory currently, mainly doing Lockleys and Edwardstown bowling clubs.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they're bowling. Lockley's was beautiful this year. I bowled there a few times.
Edwardstown was pretty slick too, so I'm sure they put in the request to have it quick. Mate, was greenkeeping always something you wanted to get into, or was that something you sort of fell into because of bowls?
I was always never a school person, so I was always an outside person, and I never really thought about greenkeeping until helping out with Scotty, volunteering and just rolling the greens, and loved it there. And bowlers being bowlers, having lots of connections, it was really good. Scotty being great mates with my boss James, sort of managed to fall into a job with Jimmy, and works out pretty good.
Be a bit to it though. You obviously a bit of study with it.
Yeah, so I finished a 3-year traineeship, as they call it.
Okay.
It's a modified horticulture. Uh, yeah, at TAFE SA at O'Bray. So
Very good.
yeah.
Keeps you busy. All right, mate. We're going to circle back to obviously the Masters, mate. How did your sectionals go? We've obviously talked about some of the finals, but how did your sectionals go? And who was probably your toughest opponent through that part of it? Because that's often the hardest part to get out of. Sometimes is the sectionals.
Yeah, absolutely. I all three games were very, very high level games, which you'd expect in the Masters. I started off a bit scratchy in the first game, didn't play as great as I would have liked, but managed to find a way to win that one, and then sort of pulled my finger out a bit for the next two. Played the club championship winner for the last 2 years at Sturt, and played really good against him. Just had my draw game going, and then which led me up really well for the last game against Damon Edmonds from Holdfast Bay Bowling Club.
Yep. And mate, then obviously then it gets down to the serious business, and Anthony Moffat's not an easy starting point when you've got the round of 32.
No, no. It's certainly, you look at all of the names there and you think, oh, I don't want to be playing anyone. So yeah, it was really nice to play Anthony, and I probably got him on a good day. The greens were a bit slower, and which sort of suited me more than it suited him after the rain we'd had on the Saturday and Sunday.
It's a big weekend of bowls, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's you got your three games on whatever day you qualify on, then usually the three on Sunday and two on Monday if you make it that far. So yeah, 25 ends, 25 up as well, which always can take a toll.
Right. Can take forever.
Exactly right.
Yes.
Mate, was this a goal of yours, as a young man to obviously make the Masters, get through to the Masters, because you do need to win a club championship to be able to participate.
Yeah.
Winning it obviously would have been a dream come true, and something that you've set your mind to.
Yeah, yeah. Ever since I started playing bowls, I remember watching Scotty win his three in a row at the time, but I saw his last two and just thinking, wow, this competition's amazing. And then luckily enough, I've been there to watch all the Mondays and semi-final finals for the last however many years. And I think once I watched Blackie win his, it really clicked in my mind that, wow, maybe I could win one of these as well. And yeah, managed to get one this year, which was unbelievable.
Well done, mate. Talk us through what it was like to play Brett in the final there. Obviously coming over from Mount Lewis, well credentialed bowler, and basically you're putting your skills against his skills, and you come out on top. Just talk us through that, because it was a 25-20, so it's not exactly an easy game, which you wouldn't expect. But just what was going through your mind, mate?
Yeah, Brett and I, for the last few years, he's been down to the Masters, always got along very well. I've always looked up to him as a player, just always consistent. And yeah, the game, I always knew it was going to be tough, but I had the sort of the safe keep that I wasn't expected to win, which really helped my nerves early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never really felt nervous until I think I was 19, 16 up, and then I thought, oh, maybe I'm a chance of winning this year. And then got a bit nervous, but managed to just keep focusing on the task ahead and play good bowls at the right times. And yeah,
You didn't look
never
nervous.
easy against players.
Didn't look nervous, mate. You came across on the live stream all okay, mate, and you put some big bowls down, so credit to you.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I'm glad I was good at hiding it, because I was definitely feeling it. So,
hey, mate, I know it's all ifs, buts, and candy nuts right now, but if Scotty had got up over Brett in that semi and you had to play him in the final, what could have happened?
oh, it would have been the same result, I think. I'll tell
love it.
him that anyway. So,
I reckon you probably would have beaten me one more.
yeah, I told him that. I said, you'd have been lucky to get to 10 against me, mate.
I'll let Scotty deal with you when he says I had nothing to do with that. Mate, fantastic. What can I say, Corey? You've had a fantastic year. State representation, obviously, in the seniors there at the beginning of the year. Skipping at Adelaide in a Premier League Premiership year. Yep. I had to get that one out. And, mate, you guys played awesome on that day and copped it firsthand, but you guys were on fire. And now you are the 61st Adelaide Masters winner.
Yeah, cheers. That still sounds so surreal in my mind. So, yeah.
And name goes up on the board at the club?
Yeah, Yeah, I was looking at that after I managed to get up over Brett, and looking at some of the names on the board is just so surreal to be up there with some of those names, some of the greats of the sport. So,
Well, mate, you can sit back on a Saturday now and have a beer and look at that board and enjoy it because, mate, you've done very, very well. Thank you for joining us tonight on our sort of grand final episode. We wanted to get you on and congratulate you on a fantastic win, not only last weekend but over the whole season.
thanks, boys. Much appreciated.
Yeah, well done, Corey. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
Liking this podcast? Please like, rate, and subscribe.
All right, mate. Let's, like we've been doing, we're sort of rolling in some of the state events and bits and pieces into the extra ends to finish us off tonight. Firstly, before we do that, thanks to Corey for his time tonight. Congratulations, obviously, on his big win. And what a 24-25 season he's had. And interesting to hear his thoughts on, obviously, all of that and the Adelaide Masters as well.
Yeah, and he's involved in bowls non-stop, and he's a greenkeeper by trade.
Yep.
So, yeah, good luck to him.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's start off with the extra ends. The Bowls SA Awards night, 30th of May. I believe a rumour has circulated that we might have got a nomination.
No.
Maybe. We'll find out. As I said, it's only a rumour. We could be wrong. We could be right. Who knows? I believe that nominations closed tonight. We are recording on a Wednesday. This will go out on Friday, so that'll all be closed. But tickets, if you want to get your club members together, I think tables of 10 or 12, I think it is. If
we haven't got 10 or 12 friends, have we?
Mate, I'd be struggling to rustle up 3 at the moment, but that's the way it goes. This one sort of falls under the national events / state events, is the Australian Indoor Qualifying. Sectionals are on the 18th of May. I believe that all closed on Friday.
Yeah, I saw something on the
exactly right
on the thing there.
With the finals actually being played on the 24th of May. I do think that this year there's 3 spots available from South Australia, both men's and women's, up in Tweed.
Oh, okay.
That is a fantastic initiative, I suppose, either from Bowls SA or Bowls Australia, just to even things out a little bit, because we've only ever had one person go up.
Yep.
I think that there's scope there that we should be sharing it around a little bit more. I know that obviously Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, just through per head of population, do have those extra spots, but I'm glad that they're actually starting to share it out a little bit. And it just gives us something else, from a local point of view to support. So well done there. All right, let's talk BPL Cup, mate. We've already given these a pump, but there are a few more that have made the list, so we'll read them all out. We've got Boolaroo, Berry, Torrensville, Kapunda, Salisbury, Mount Gambier. Now we've got Henley, Wilmington, and Modbury, who have added on to the list since we last spoke a few weeks ago, and we thought that was going to be the case with, end of season. It's been a busy year, not really thinking that far ahead just yet. Everyone wants to take a breather, but they are certainly the clubs that are involved. So get your club mates together. I know it is sort of, some of them are in the heart of the off season, some of them are in sort of Augusty, so maybe a bit of pre-season competition there to go. All right, let's talk national events now. The Australian Open sectionals have been posted. Good luck to everyone involved. I've only looked through the first 50 or 60 sections. There seems to be a fair representation from the country in South Australia.
Yeah, we were talking about that at Two Wells, and you pointed that out to me, that there's a lot of country.
Yep.
I know there's a lot going, like Kapunda and a few from that area, all heading up there. They treat it as a holiday and, just to get away and play a few bowls.
Absolutely.
And,
I was within millimetres of going this year, but no, work unfortunately has just kept me here a little bit longer this year, but next year I reckon I'll be up there, and, mate, we've got to get you up there as well, mate. Get you to enjoy the Gold Coast. We might potentially do something over that Gold Coast period where we try and get a couple of people on the line and do a little episode, a little special bonus episode. Yeah. Hey, we'll get into him this weekend. I think he's playing this weekend with you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good chance.
He's looking forward to the show. He told me tonight.
Is he?
Said, "You're doing another show?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going over in a minute."
There you go. Looking forward to it. All right, let's finish off, mate. As we always do, a couple of hot topics, a couple of quick questions. One wish for the off season. What can we change before the start of next year?
I was going to say a Port premiership.
Oh, that's never going to happen.
What about a finals win?
You know what? Carlton have got just as much chance as Port is winning a premiership this year, mate.
I think just shorten the season, and I know the Barossa League, there's a couple boys up there maybe coming to town because that season up there was, I think it's 21 weeks or something they had, and not much break in between Chrissy, and went on longer, and I think that's all it is.
Do you think the double headers worked for them around the Country Carnival? Because that seemed to be when
they had to catch up.
They chunked them in,
Yeah, they needed to catch up and keep those rounds going.
Yep.
It looked like they were squashing it all in, but in the end, well, they did because 21 rounds or whatever it was.
Yep.
That's about all. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going for me, put it that way.
So you'd be happy to do a couple of double headers. What do you see the format of the Taylor's Cup or the Challenge Cup? Yeah. Do you see that moving to maybe a Friday night competition rather than a Sunday? I think it's got to do something. Yeah, Sunday, I mean, it's all right for me. I don't work, but Sunday night's all right for me. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just sort of a funny time, isn't it? It is. You can't really run it, say, a Wednesday night because you've got Wednesday men's pennant. You can't run it on a Thursday because you've got Thursday ladies. Even though the Thursday ladies do play earlier in the morning, most clubs use that as an opportunity to basically go, that's our day.
Yeah.
We got the ladies in the morning, we got our night hours at night, and it's done.
Yep.
Friday night, is that a pennant night?
Just sort of gives you a bit of a hit out ready for Saturday.
Yeah.
And the silly part about the Challenge Cup this year was semi-final was on a Saturday.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we've played night all year.
Yep.
And then they put the final, and then you had to play Sunday.
It's a bit like the AFL. They play all their finals, all their finals or most of their finals at night with a couple of oddish twilighty games in there, but the grand final is day game. So very interesting. So maybe just getting together with the scheduling a little bit there and trying to pick the holes a little bit in. Do you think Bowls SA are falling into line with all the other states when it comes to their state finals? Because it looked like most of them were all being played at around about the same time.
Yeah, I think so. I think they have.
Is that to fall in with the national calendar, you think?
Hopefully. Yep. I think that's what it would be, wouldn't it?
Does that leave then, especially like come the last couple of weekends, we've been blessed but a bit unlucky here in South Australia that we haven't had a lot of wet weather, so we've been able to play a little bit longer than we normally. But if we'd had some wet weather in that period, it might have just changed everything and we'd still be sort of playing catch up now, even though we're a week after Easter.
I suppose the only thing was the Vic Open clashed with
finals,
pennant finals, which Millsy couldn't play the grand final, and he knew that from the start of the season. So, but
and a shout out to Millsy, actually, congratulations on making the final of the Vic Open.
Absolutely. Yeah, I watched a lot of his games on that live stream. And that was he played some absolute rippers. So I mean, that seemed a bit disappointing. He played most of the year for Edwardstown, and grand final he wasn't there. Not that it made much difference to Edwardstown, they're a very strong side.
Exactly right. Hey, question without notice, and you've
put it on
on my agenda right now. Should Bowls SA or SA Bowls do a Victorian Open style, open it up at some stage during the year? I know here we are talking about a little bit less bowls as far as time goes, but we all want to play more. Is there an opportunity there for a SA Bowls tournament where we can get teams from other states coming over, potentially in some off seasons or beginning of seasons?
Why not? Yeah, I mean, we haven't got anything like that.
No, this is why I'm sort of throwing it out there as a bit of a question about notice. Why not? Because, I mean, I know there's probably Greeny's probably a classic example, would have loved to have played in the Vic Open without having to rush from here to go and play.
Yep.
And there's probably players in the finals here in the pennant that probably would have made the trip over as well, and vice versa. Could there be an opportunity of, we have the 2 weeks for the Australian Open, is there an opportunity of back-to-back weeks, Victorian Open 1 week, SA Open the next? Throwing it up there, mate. We'll open it up to the listeners.
Yep.
Mate, one more question without notice. I'm really throwing them at you.
Wow.
Your most favourite interview for the year, mate, just in our grand final edition here.
Wow. I should say Cat Green.
Yep.
I like Barry Lester.
I thought you might say
she was
that.
a cracker because, I mean, he had so much to tell us, and I think we put it over 2 shows.
Yes.
And but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed them all because there's a few people there I hadn't sort of met and talked to before or whatever.
And that's what this forum is all about, and we try and get as many people on. There's some weeks where it didn't quite work out the way we'd hoped. Other weeks we're just so flat out that trying to organise somebody.
Yep.
We were trying to get an on-green interview after a game, but that's always hard. You know, if players are a bit busy or they just want to drink and have a bit of time with their teammates. We totally get that as well. But I think that's something that we can improve on for next year, and we want to open that up to everybody and ask for any comments. I know one of them is probably I need to put a hat on, and probably a couple of new hosts would probably go pretty well too from a
Shut
few.
the show down.
Exactly right. But no, any improvements, we're all ears, and would really like to hear some of those improvements, and we want to bring them to you as best we can. So, mate, for the last time this season, I won't say year, this season, now, mate, we've got to do better, and we will definitely try. And thank you to everyone that has listened, subscribed, shared some of the stuff that we've posted online. Thanks to everyone that's been good. Involved. I mean, the views, thank you as well.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. I mean, the setup here we've got is fantastic. So I thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's been good fun, and
hey, and
we had
to
a bit of a laugh doing it.
Start from nothing to we've got really good views so far. That's
right.
Slowly building. People are starting to get involved. Some of the guests we've got coming on or have had on. We've had, people within their friendship or team sharing it on and having a bit of a laugh with it as well, which is exactly why we started it in the first place. So, mate, I thank you for your time all this year. We might do a little bit of a bonus one over the Australian Open, see if we can get a hold of somebody over the phone or on the Zoom. We'll work on him this week. Mate, let's wind things up there.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you all again next time.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.